All right, so going to change it up a little bit. Gonna do some work on the rock buggy tonight. Just trying to create some sort of context since I don't have a race until April. Well, background. This is shockless for the moment. Those are out with Brandon Anderson with Caves Customs, getting those worked on. And last October at Rock Rash, the rear steer valve in this took a dump, and by no fault of its own, it's just a log splitter valve in there. So that went bad, and then that threw a bunch of debris in and took my pump out at Vets Run a couple weeks later. So I'm currently doing budget things and going to throw in this Amazon TC pump. The PSC one I had in there, I don't want to fork over the coin, and I'm probably going to regret it later, but gonna try out this $112 TC pump and see what we can make happen. It came with dash 6 and dash 10 on it already, so it should be a bolt in place, but we'll do a quick little pump removal and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so give you a little idea what I got going on here. If you're wondering why my power steering pump for my LS is on the passenger side, that is a goat-built TC CBR power steering pump bracket. Moves the tensioner, moves the power steering pump up here. Here is the cute little TC pump. Do a little side-by-side here to see how well this is going to work because, well, I did minimal research, found it on Amazon. It was cheap, and there's a chance I want to wheel it this weekend, depending on what the weather does. So, get a little side-by-side here. So, we can see, we position this in the same orientation here. It does look like we need to drill out those bolts. And then everything else looks like it should check out. We got to pull that pulley off, put it on here, drill out these holes so they're through holes, which won't take much. Looks like that's just a 5/16 pass through. And then, yeah, we'll give this a try. I'm curious to get into the back of that. No fault to PSC on what happened here. It was just I had debris in the system and shit happens. Like everything else, it does not live with a bunch of crap in there, but we'll tear that apart later and see what we got going on. Okay, we'll do a quick little run through if you guys have never used one of the, I'm going to say the proper pullers for a power steering pump, but try to get a quick little vidget here. So that little guy there. Throw your collars on either side. And then throw that over there so it retains it. Tighten that down real quick. And if I remember correctly, this is like a 13/16 and a ½ inch. At one size. Oh, bigger than that. (3/16 and 5/8). I need to acquire more good ratchets. So, like that. And if you don't care about what you're doing here, you can use an impact. Make that slightly less wobbly for everybody. That can just reside in a toolbox drawer. The proper tools are worth the money. Actually, I had to go retrieve this out of the race trailer because that's where it's been residing since the last power steering pump I changed. But, ta-da! Power steering pump removed. No torches, welders, small explosives required. So, little guy there. Now, went through, just knocked the holes through there. Wasn't anything extravagant by any means. And we're just going to clean some dirt out of this pulley here quick. Actually not. I'm going to leave that for my lineup mark. So the guy squares that up on there. Now, this is the slightly more expensive tool. This is actually a snap-on pulley installer. Also worth every penny. So the interior of this pulley is threaded. So you start that down in there. And that bottoms out. And now is where I believe I need the ½ inch and the 1 inch. Nope, smaller. Terrible at this. I haven't used them in forever. 7/16. We're gonna use the handy dandy multi-wrench in this situation. Yeah, wrench, pliers, hammer, prying device. We need that. And if everything's going right, this should press down on there pretty easily. Nothing drastic by any means. Now, with the way this all lives on my buggy, this pulley does not get pressed all the way down. I believe last time I ended up pressing it, or pulling it off a little bit after I had gotten it in there. And we need to go down a little bit more yet. And this was just for belt alignment. That should get us closer to where we need to be. I'll just throw that out of the vise because, you know, why hold on to it? Make life easier on yourself. Oh, we need another fraction of an inch. Well, either way, you guys got the idea. I want to say there's a couple different companies that make this puller now, not just Snap-on. I bought Snap-on because I was wrenching when, I should say, I had a Snap-on dealer readily available when I needed this tool. And, you know, just 3 easy payments for the rest of your life and you acquire a power steering installer. But I'm pretty sure there's other companies that make it. Buy one. It's, if you're doing any GM power steering pump pulleys, this thing is worth its weight in some sort of unobtainium. All right, so pumps back in. Thankfully, that goat belt bracket makes life nice and simple. If I not leave my wrench over there, that would be awesome. Scrunch. Proper croissant wrench here. Wee wee. Was honestly surprised to find a pump on Amazon that came with AN fittings because most of these you see have the Jeep TJ push connect. All right, there's that. And now I need this back. Let's see if I can not screw up my belt routing. That goes there, that goes there. That gets wrapped back around there. Do rear steer, they said. It'll be fun, they said. All right, belts on, almost. The alternator wants to play a fun little game called Maybe. Oh, all right, so Amazon power steering pump is installed. Cute little breather out of there. So we are going to hope that, I'm pretty sure I got fluid. If not, this will be a postponed. It's empty. Come over here to my wonderful rack of randomness. We're going to start with this wonderful jug of Resolute power steering fluid. If you don't know what Resolute is, it's from the farm of Fleets. And I know someone in the world out there is going to gripe about fluid types and you need this and how come you don't have your system plumbed this way and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I just want to have fun and have rear steer and mostly use it to roll over. Oh. That is most likely not enough fluid, but I'm going to put a cap on there and see if it does stuff. Besides, scream at me. Oh, let's come over here, hit the almighty kill switch, and toggle. Oh, that's not a good start. Guessing that was nowhere near enough fluid. Shout out to Casey at K2 Fabrication for making these sweet little matching reservoirs. Well, it don't look like the fluid moved. Tyler might have got me on this one. He said it was going to be dead before it even started. He may be correct. All right, got it figured out for the most part. Brought it up off idle, threw some more viscous fluids in there, and don't mind that horrendous noise. That's the idler pulley that needs to get adjusted. But rear steer back in business.